What's up, ladies and gentlemen? chuckfinleLP, Sonic the Hedgehog Part 1. This is the first Sonic game in the series, the first Sonic game for the Sega Genesis, and Sega Genesis was the first console to have a Sonic the Hedgehog game on it. Alright, so you can see this is the title screen, nothing much to it. Just wait for the music to go or hit any button to start. Oh, okay, if you let the thing run through the music, it'll be a demo. So just hit the start button to start the game up. Alright, and this is the most iconic level in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. If you ask any gamer about the franchise, Green Hill Zone is one of the first levels that they will talk about. And this is the level that was represented in the new Sonic Generations game for Sonic 1. You can see we had different enemies that will be destroyed by jumping on them or by spin dashing into them. And the controls are fairly simple. All you have to do is push right to go right, left to go left. You can look up by pushing up. Let's see here. Look up, look down. You can spin dash by running either to the left or the right and pushing the left or right on the or to start the spin dash, just while moving left or right, push down, and you'll start the spin dash. Alright, so you can see rings act as a shield for us. So that means if you do get hit, you won't lose a life by an enemy. You can be hit by spikes or enemies to cause damage, and you lose all your rings if you do get hit by something. But so those act like a shield. Alright, so you can see this is the first special stage. To get one of those big rings to pop up at the end of each stage, all you have to do is make sure you collect 50 rings in the over 50 rings throughout the zone, and then just make sure you don't run past the signpost at the end of a act to go into the zone. And you see that little blue thing there that should pop up right now. That is a Chaos Emerald. There are 6 of them in the game. To get the good ending to the game, you will get you need all 6 Chaos Emeralds. If you don't get all 6 Chaos Emeralds, you won't. You'll get just a normal ending. Alright, so you could hear the tone and that little miniature Sonic sprite. That was a continue. If you get 50 rings in a special stage, you will get a continue, which a continue does for you is, if you lose all your lives in a zone, you can start at the beginning of that zone. Or I'm sorry, if you lose all your lives in an act, you'll start at the beginning of the act, but you'll have 3 lives to do whatever, or to try to see if you can't get back through the zone again. Alright, so there are different things. There are shields in these little TVs. This is an invincibility shield. Nothing will hurt you except for falling down a hole and dying, which you won't see right now. But you're invincible. You can run through anything. You won't take any damage. Regular shields will protect you from one hit, and it will allow you to keep your rings with you. Right here, you want to make sure you are holding the left while you're running through there, so you don't go past the signpost. But it's very important to get the Chaos Emeralds in these beginning stages right now, because they'll just be getting harder as you go along throughout the game. It'll be harder to keep 50 rings with you, and it's always best to try to get as many of these rings during the special stages as well, so that you can get a continue. Because, as I said, as things get harder, you'll want to have that extra security. But these are just patience, really, trying to get through these. Okay, as you can see, there are those R spheres which will rotate the background, and that will tell you, or that will change Sonic's position. you may have seen a red sphere with a goal on it. If you hit one of those, you will leave the special stage without a Chaos Emerald. So you want to be careful while running through there. But anyway, like I said, it's very easy to get continues in these beginning special stages, and you want to make sure you get as many as you can for the rest of the game. Or you can say every zone has 3 acts, and the 3rd act is where we fight the boss. And this is the shield. It will protect you from one hit, as I said, and you'll get to keep all of your rings. You can't enter the special stage while you're in the 3rd zone, so outside of just having rings for the boss and maybe points at the end, there is no reason to collect too many rings, like in Acts 1 or 1 and 2 of a stage. For here, you can get that life that's on top of this loop right there. All you have to do is jump right at the very top of the hill once you hit the red spring. Jump about right here. Once you hit that red spring, you'll be able to get that life. As you can see, there is something that all Sonic games are also known for, is the multiple paths to get to the end. You can either take a higher route in every zone, which is the faster and safer way, but the bottom is longer and has more enemies and has more traps and holes. Then the top usually will have more aerial enemies if there are any, and this is okay. I guess you don't. You're supposed to flash when you take damage, but I guess you don't on spikes. Oh well. Oh yeah, you want to be careful while doing that. We don't want to get hit by that spiked log. But yeah, this first zone isn't too hard at all, as long as you don't jump around on those spikes. So it does. You can't just run through the hold right and run through the zone like a lot of people think, especially in Sonic 1. There's a lot of timing that you need to do in the game, and especially if you do take the lower route, which has spikes. I just want to take it easy and slow through that section. So always look up in these palm trees. There's not too many palm trees that have something in them, but usually sometimes there will. Alright, so this is Dr. Robotnik, the main bad guy in the Sonic series. And at the end of Act 3 of every zone, you'll have to fight Robotnik. It'll take 6 hits to defeat whatever robot he has, or whatever machine he has, to fight you. But I thank you for watching. The challenge of the video is how many rings did I collect in both Acts 1, 2, and 3. I thank you for watching. Until next time.